Hey guys, Alex from LMU Academy here with another Le Mans Ultimate Fix Setup Lap Guide, this time in the LIGEIER LMP3 at Silverstone. As always, we'll cover the setup first, then cover each corner in slow time, followed by the pit entry, and then finally put the lap together for you in real time. So first, let's take a look at the setup, and remember that we're using the default setup for the car with some slight changes to the electronics and brakes, which means you can still use this setup and achieve this lap time in any race that forces the fixed setup to be used. Now we set a lap time of 152.8 using quali fuel with the medium tyre compound. Taking a look at the traction settings, we're using an overall TC value of 4 and TC cut 4. Then onto the brakes, and we're using a brake bias of 48.5 on the front and 51.5 on the rear, as well as a max pedal force of 85%. Now that's covered, let's take a look at each corner in slow time. So for turn 1, we place our left side tyres completely over the black and white curb, and our braking point is about a car length before the final Goodyear sign on the left. We go hard on the brakes down to 4th gear, but we need to trail off early, otherwise the car won't rotate enough. Then as we reach the apex, we place our right side tyres onto the black and white curb, and our throttle point is as we reach the final red sausage curb. Then as we exit, we can place our left side tyres onto the black and white curb, keeping the right side tyres within the white line. We then move the car over to the right side of the track to prepare for the next corner. Now we place our left side tyres completely over the black and white curb but avoid the red sausage curb, and our braking point is just as the red sausage curb ends. We go on the brakes about 50% down to 5th gear, and as we reach the apex we can place the right side tyres over the black and white curb but keep the left side tyres within the white line. We then keep the wheel turned to the right and go back on the throttle, aiming to place our car in the middle of the track. Now it's really hard to find a braking point here for this corner, but you could use the tarmac on the left as it changes colour. We go on the brakes about 50% down to 4th gear, and as we reach the apex we can place our left side tyres just on the edge of the red curb, but don't take more than this or you'll unsettle the car and lose too much speed. Then we apply the throttle as we reach the end of this black curb, keeping our wheel turned to the left to open up our entry into the next corner. Now again, there's no real braking marker here, but you could use the middle of the grey off-road on the left as a reference. We go on the brakes about 50%, and as we reach the apex we place our right side tyres just onto the black and white curb. Then as we exit, the car will naturally understeer out wide, and we can place our car completely over the black and white curb, keeping the right side tyres within the white line. We then allow the car to drift over to the right side of the track, placing our right side tyres over the black and white curb. Now our next braking point is this Marshall's box on the left. We go hard on the brakes down to 4th gear and then give a late downshift to 3rd gear for some extra rotation. Then as we reach the apex we place our right side tyres onto the black and white curb, and our throttle point is as we reach the second red sausage curb. Then as we exit we can place our left side tyres over the green curb, keeping the right side tyres within the white line. Our next braking point is about a car length before the curb on the right starts. We go hard on the brakes down to 1st gear, and as we reach the apex we can place our left side tyres just on the edge of the red curb, but make sure you keep the right side tyres within the white line. Then as we go back on the throttle we upshift early to 2nd gear and flick the wheel over to the right to line up the next apex, lifting off the throttle again to get more rotation. Then as we reach the curb we go back on the throttle smoothly, making sure we avoid the red sausage curb. Now we can't see the next apex, so we're turning into this corner blind, but the easy way to do this is turn in for the corner as the black and white curb on the left here ends, and this should line up the right side tyres with the next apex. Again, make sure you avoid the red sausage curb. Now our turn-in point for the next corner is as we reach the middle of this solid black curb, and you'll see before we turn in we place our left side tyres onto that solid black curb to open up the next corner more. We lift off the throttle, and as we reach the apex we avoid the red sausage curbs as they can cause the car to understeer before the next corner. Then as we reach the solid black curb on the left we turn the wheel hard to the left and keep a tight line. Our next braking point is as we reach the black barrier on the left, we go hard on the brakes down to second gear and it's hard to see the next apex, but following the tyre marks can be consistent. Then as we reach the apex, we can place our right side tyres just on the edge of the red curb, keeping the left side tyres within the white line. Now we need to be really gentle on the throttle here as it's very easy to lose the rear of the car, and as we exit we immediately move over to the right to prepare for the next corner. Our next braking point is just before the curb on the right begins, and we go hard on the brakes about 50% down to first gear. Now we need to take a later apex rather than attacking the apex directly, and our throttle point is just as the red and white barriers meet in the middle of our cockpit. We go back on the throttle smoothly and straighten out the wheel, placing the right side tyres onto the black and white curb. Then for this flat out corner, it's important not to turn the wheel too much as this can cost us time coming into the next corner. Our next braking point is as we reach the electronic flag board on the right. We go on the brakes hard down to third gear but then trail off early to carry more speed into the corner, then we do a late downshift to second gear for more rotation. Now again we need to take a later apex for this corner and aim to have the car meet the black and white curb just as we reach those red sausage curbs. Now for the final corner, you'll see we keep about a car width away from the curb in order to open up our entry into the hairpin, and our braking point is just as we reach the red sausage curb on our right. We go on the brakes about 60% down to second gear, and we take this corner in a V shape rather than following its curve. Again, following the tyre marks in front of you here is a good reference. Now we need to be patient with the throttle, and if you go back on it too early like I did here, then you'll probably have to lift off it again slightly, which can cost you some time. A reference you can use is as the green building or the stand next to it reaches the middle of your cockpit. We then go back on the throttle smoothly and keep the wheel turned to the right, aiming to place the left side tyres onto the black and white curb as you exit. Then finally, as we reach the curb, we move the car over to the right side of the track and we can cut over the black and white curb to reduce our travel distance, and that completes the lap. Now for the pit entry, we complete the hairpin as normal and immediately move over into the pit entry lane. Our braking point is just as the red barrier on the right bends, or about a car length before the white railing on the left ends. We go on the brakes about 80% and try to turn the wheel as little as possible or you'll risk locking up the tyres. Then just trail off the brakes slowly as you reach first gear, slowing down to 60 km and activating the pit limiter just before the white line. So that was a lap at Silverstone in the Ligier LMP3, and now we'll put it all together and leave you with the entire lap in real time. Now if you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and if you want to see more lap guides like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel or visit lmuacademy.com.